Hey guys, Tom here, and today I am doing Was Raw or SmackDown Live better this week. So this series took a little bit of a sabbatical in the last few weeks. It's gone missing, but it's back because you guys have been on at me all week and for like the last 3 weeks to bring this series back. I didn't realise you guys enjoyed this video as much as you did, but this week it's back. We're comparing this week's Raw to this week's SmackDown Live to see which one was better, and most importantly, why. So if you guys can smash that like button, that'll be absolutely awesome. If we can get loads of likes on this video, I'll definitely make sure to keep this series going, because then I know you guys really enjoy it. But anyway, let's get on to the discussion. Was Raw or SmackDown Live better this week? I thought this week's Monday Night Raw was pretty good, but I thought this week's SmackDown Live was pretty awesome. So yeah, that is right. SmackDown Live is going to get my shout this week. SmackDown Live once again wins it for like the 4th week in a row. SmackDown Live is killing it, and Monday Night Raw is doing it, but not doing it too impressively. So let's get into the discussion and explain why SmackDown Live was better than Monday Night Raw this week. Now, to be fair to Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live had the advantage because the Backlash pay-per-view was on Sunday, and it was all the fallout from that pay-per-view on this week's Tuesday show. So it was exciting. We had new champions, we had new storylines begin, storylines continue, we had superstars return, all the usual stuff you get from a fallout show after a pay-per-view. So SmackDown Live, yes, they did have the advantage this week due to the fact Backlash was on Sunday, the Fallout was on Tuesday. It was exciting. We got new #1 contenders, and overall, it was a really good show. And Monday Night Raw, they were at a disadvantage because they're just continuing what they've been doing for the last few weeks, because their pay-per-view is still in a couple of weeks. So there wasn't really anything special happening on this week's Monday Night Raw, but over on SmackDown Live, it was just fucking awesome. But you can't take that away from SmackDown Live, because even if the Backlash wasn't on Sunday, it still would have been a good show, because we've seen a similar pattern. It's been happening for weeks now. SmackDown Live, it just feels special. There's something in the air which makes this show good. And Monday Night Raw, it just feels formulaic, and they're doing the same things over and over again. And if you look at the draft, SmackDown Live has improved since the draft. And if you look at Monday Night Raw since the draft, it's slightly improved, but not as much as SmackDown Live. And I think this was very apparent on this week's Monday Night Raw. For me, it feels like SmackDown Live is always one step ahead of their audience. There was a few things which happened on this week's show which proved that. You had Eric Rowan return and help Bray Wyatt against Randy Orton. I didn't see that coming. You also had Dean Ambrose possibly turning heel on John Cena with the Dirty Deeds. We also got John Cena return, which we didn't see happening. We also got James Ellsworth return and then Miz attack him. You didn't see that happening. All these things feel special, and you don't see them coming. They are one step ahead of their audience every single time. Whereas on Monday Night Raw, it's kind of the same thing over and over again. Cesaro beating Sheamus, how predictable was that? Dana Brooke once again slaps Charlotte. Is she breaking up with Charlotte? Probably not, because we've seen this many times before, and the next week she's still with Charlotte, so that's not very exciting, and we've seen it all before. There was also many other things which were just obvious, like Rusev interrupting the Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens match. We're now going to get another match between Roman Reigns against Rusev at Clash of Champions. We've still got the Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson feud with the New Day. They were facing Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston in a match which will pretty much be at Clash of Champions. So it's not special, and they're just regurgitating the same thing over and over again. And SmackDown Live, once again, feels special, but is also very unpredictable. We tune into SmackDown Live every single week not knowing what the hell is gonna happen, because it's so up in the air right now. You tune in, you watch a show, and it's so fun because anything can happen, and usually anything does happen, and that was very apparent on this week's SmackDown Live. So what did I like about this week's SmackDown Live? Now, the Usos had a pretty good match against the Hype Brothers. I thought this was pretty great. I think the Usos are really good as heels. Like, how did it take them that long to turn them heel? But they are now finally heel, and it's working out really, really great for them. Now, AJ Styles cut a pretty decent promo, but I really like the match we got. AJ, Dean, and Cena for the title at No Mercy. What a fantastic match. That wasn't on the cards. That is going to be absolutely awesome. We also got, once again, The Miz cutting a fantastic promo. He is killing it right now. Easily probably the best heel besides AJ Styles on SmackDown Live. We also got a really important Fatal 5-Way #1 Contenders match. Alexa Bliss winning that match. That is really something new. Alexa taking on Becky at No Mercy for the women's title. What a great match, but this was actually a pretty decent match as well, and it's just something new. Who thought we would see a Fatal 5-Way women's #1 Contenders match? Wow, it's just something interesting, and you don't get that on Monday Night Raw. It's so formulaic. They always do the same thing over and over again, and it's not fun. We've also got a new champion, Rhino and Heath Slater. That is also something new that you don't expect, and it's bringing out fresh new storylines which you also wouldn't expect as well. Now, their match against the Ascension wasn't great, but it's just nice and interesting to see new faces at the top of SmackDown Live. We also got John Cena and Dean Ambrose defeating The Miz and AJ Styles. I thought it was hilarious when The Miz attacked James Ellsworth and was like, I should be in the main event, and then he went in the main event. I thought that was great. Decent match. Dean Ambrose turned heel maybe on John Cena, I'm not particularly sure, but overall, very special SmackDown Live, and it felt great. But Monday Night Raw, I mean, it was a decent show. I thought it was a decent show. Some people would say it was a really bad show, but I'm giving it a benefit of the doubt. It was an okay show. So we got Sasha Banks defeating Bayley and Dana Brooke. Great triple threat match and high stakes as well. I thought that was pretty good. Bo Dallas defeating Brandon Scott. I like this Bo Dallas thing, but nobody else really cares about it. I thought the Jericho and Zayn highlight reel was very good. I think that's going to be a great feud. Chris Jericho is one of the highlights, if you pardon the pun, on Monday Night Raw. The Best of 7 series match was probably the worst match they've had, and they've made it way too predictable now. Cesaro obviously is going to win the next match as well, and it's going to be 3-3 going into Clash of Champions. That is obvious. Nia Jax puts Alicia Fox through one of the barricades. I didn't think this was anything that exciting. I'm not really that bothered about Alicia Fox, so there you go. The New Day and their thing with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson is pretty pathetic. I didn't think their rematch from SummerSlam on this week's Raw was any good either. Jinder Mahal, I don't know why they re-signed this guy, defeating Jack Swagger. Yeah, two guys I don't really care about anymore. Epico defeated Enzo. I mean, this... I kind of like the fact that they were handing out leaflets and stuff. I mean, they're kind of adding depth to their character, which they obviously didn't have until this week's show. I mean, it could be something good, but it's not that exciting. And then Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns. I don't really want to see Roman Reigns in another title match. The match wasn't that good. It was kind of obvious Roman was going to come back. So it was a decent show, but compared to SmackDown Live, where they have new faces at the top, you've got brand new matches, big matches, high-stake matches. The 2-hour show is so much better than the 3 hours. They fill so much time on Monday Night Raw. It kills all the momentum, but momentum is the name I would give to SmackDown Live, because it just has so much momentum. The shows are great, the pacing is great, AJ Styles is world champion, Becky Lynch is a women's champion. It really doesn't get much better, and I'm sorry to say, but SmackDown Live is really going to surpass Monday Night Raw in a big way soon, because it's just steaming ahead. Monday Night Raw is so far behind, it's pretty embarrassing. What do you guys think? I'm going to give the shout to SmackDown Live this week by pretty long way, I would say. So there you go, guys. Backlash was good. The build-up to Backlash was good with the 2 hours. I mean, we got to Backlash, and we hadn't got bored of the storylines, whereas on Monday Night Raw, with the 3 hours, they kind of you get storylines which are built way too much, and then when you get to the match, you're kind of just sick of it at that point. But SmackDown, 2 hours, little build up to the matches, but enough. We got to Backlash, a 2.5 hour show, which is short, sweet, and fun. Every match was good, and then we have the Fallout, another 2 hours, which is solid, doesn't dwindle, has a lot of momentum, new faces at the top of the SmackDown Live division, and it's fun. SmackDown Live is killing it right now. Smash the likes, guys. Also subscribe for daily WWE videos and follow me on Twitter. There's a link in the description. Anyway, take care. Spike your hair.